Tensions will reduce global light vehicle production by millions of units according to S&P Global Mobility. In 2019, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos stood on stage to unveil a sweeping plan to transform the company's climate policies and vowed that Amazon would be carbon neutral by 2040. He also announced that Amazon was placing an order for 100,000 electric last-mile delivery vans from Rivian to be delivered by 2030. Want to know about it? Well, stay tuned to the video and watch the video till the end. Hello guys, welcome to Bezos Space. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get any updates about Jeff Bezos. Hit the like button to show your support, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Jeff Bezos and Rivian just warn of Russia's war effect on the EV business. So without any further ado, let's begin. The crisis has caused disruptions at some auto assembly plants and prompted companies to suspend shipments to Russia. Vehicle production could be down as much as 15% in Europe in 2022 because of the war, Bank Wells Fargo has estimated, further depressing output during the wider semiconductor shortage. BMW has said that production at its factories, including the mini plant in Oxford, will return to normal this week after shutdowns caused by parts shortages, but the company also said in a statement that it expects continued supply restrictions linked to the war. Multiple global automakers have reportedly halted shipments of local dealer orders to Russian partners effective February 24th, the date of the Russian invasion, according to letters apparently sent from the automakers and viewed by the Russian-language business paper Vedomosti. Russian dealers for Audi and Chevrolet reportedly received notices, and Vedomosti claims VW and Skoda are prepping notices of their own. Porsche and Land Rover's Tata Group had also halted shipments starting the date of the Russian invasion. EV maker Rivian Automotive Incorporated says Russia's invasion of Ukraine is adding to supply chain pressures and costs, becoming one of the first US automakers to cite the war in Eastern Europe as a risk and headwind. In a regulatory filing Thursday, Rivian blamed the dispute between Russia and Ukraine, along with the ongoing pandemic and inflation, for disruptions and delays in operations. The Irvine, California-based company also listed the conflict as a factor in higher component costs, including battery cells, which it said have risen considerably. Russia supplies nearly 40% of Europe's natural gas supply and 65% of Germany's. It's the third largest oil exporter in the world, accounting for 7% of all crude oil and petroleum product imports into the United States. After the Biden administration signaled it would stop importing Russian oil, the price of crude topped $130 per barrel for the first time in 13 years, and consumers in some parts of the US have seen average gasoline prices rise above $5 per gallon. Less obviously, Russia and Ukraine account for nearly one-third of all global wheat exports. Several countries, including Kazakhstan and Tanzania, import more than 90% of their wheat from Russia. The war has the potential to disrupt the still recovering global food supply chain and endanger the livelihoods of millions of people. Even less obviously, Ukraine produces 90% of the semiconductor-grade neon used in the United States. Russia, on the other hand, provides the United States with more than a third of its palladium, a rare metal also required to make semiconductors. Although companies have enough inventory to fulfill immediate needs and may find alternative suppliers, some disruptions are inevitable. And this comes at a time when the world is still suffering from a severe chip shortage, which has slowed auto production and sent new and used car prices soaring. It's also worth noting that Russia is a dominant exporter of titanium and titanium forgings, which are popular in the aerospace industry because of their lightweight. This war will further stress the aerospace supply chain. The conflict has caused logistical and supply chain problems as well as parts shortages of critical vehicle components. Most notably, many automakers source wire harnesses, which are used in vehicles for electric power and communication between parts, from Ukraine. The problems add to an already strained supply chain due to the coronavirus pandemic and an ongoing shortage of semiconductor chips. European auto production is expected to experience the most disruption, according to S&P. The firm cut 1.7 million units from its forecast for Europe, including just under 1 million units from lost demand in Russia and Ukraine. The rest of the cuts are from parts shortages involving chips and wiring harnesses caused by the war. That compares to S&P cutting its North America light-duty vehicle production by 480,000 units for 2022 and by 549,000 units for 2023. About 45% of Ukraine-built wiring harnesses are normally exported to Germany and Poland, placing German car makers at high exposure, according to S&P. Automakers such as Volkswagen and BMW have been among the most impacted since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine has 17 factories that make wire harnesses, according to Wells Fargo, with key German supplier Leoni locating 2 big sites there. Harnesses are an assembly of electrical cables that act as the car's central nervous system. While they themselves are not that high-tech, they are difficult to resource and cannot be added into a car after production, Other key supplies for car makers coming from Ukraine include neon gas needed to make chips, as well as the precious metal palladium used in catalytic converters. The country is also a key source of nickel ore, which is refined into cathode materials to make batteries for electric vehicles. In addition, the war is having an impact on UK exports. Key makers in the UK, including Jaguar, Land Rover, and Aston Martin, have stopped car shipments to Russia after issues with logistics and payment systems, and the collapsing value of the Russian ruble made exports almost impossible. Aston Martin, for example, said the reason for its pause was the operational impact of the sanctions. Other firms such as Honda, Volkswagen, and Volvo are also affected. The Korean automotive sector is hugely reliant on Ukrainian-provided rear gases like neon, krypton, xenon, and more. Everything from EV battery cells to superconductors are now on an even tighter supply chain, and prices will go up. And speaking of gas, the kind you use to fill up your car at the pump likely will get more expensive in the coming weeks as energy prices rise globally, especially if European nations abstain from Russian fuels in response to its attack on Ukraine. Hyundai Group, which Kia also operates through, first established itself with a factory in St. Petersburg, Russia in 2010, and recently purchased a former General Motors facility to renovate for Hyundai Tucson, Palisade, and Kia Sportage production for export to North America and the rest of Europe this year. The automakers combined currently produce more than 230,000 cars annually in Russia. That's just what they build there. Hyundai Group sold 373,132 vehicles in the Russian market in 2021, holding the largest market share. Hyundai accounts for 10.3% and Kia for 12.3% of Russia's total vehicle market share. The outbreak of war and the onslaught of economic and financial sanctions against Russia now put all of Hyundai and Kia's global business in jeopardy and will severely damage the national Korean economy as well. Volkswagen CEO Herbert Diess earlier this week said the war has put the company's 2022 outlook into question as the automaker experiences parts problems. When you look at Ukraine, this wire harnessing industry gives work to maybe 20,000 people, Weber told reporters Wednesday during a remote roundtable. We didn't just want to take away the work there. The Amazon.com Incorporated-backed EV upstart has struggled to ramp up production of its debut battery-powered vehicles. The company had an embarrassing U-turn on raising prices earlier this month, a move it originally attributed to a supply chain crunch and price pressures. It also gave a tepid production forecast of 25,000 vehicles, half of what the company's normal plant is capable of building. There have been very sizable increases in recent months in the cost of key metals, including lithium, nickel, aluminum, and cobalt, with volatility in prices expected to persist for the foreseeable future, Rivian said in the filing. The company hadn't previously made any explicit references to the war as a risk factor or headwind, but had acknowledged rising commodity prices and ongoing parts procurement challenges. Now that we've come to the end of this video, I want to thank you for sticking with me, and I'd love to know what you think of it. Just comment down below. Also, if you like this video, make sure you like it and stay safe. Today's video is over, but if you want to see more, there's one on your screen right now, and there are a few more fun videos coming soon. I'll see you in the next video.